her if she was pregnant.
And
You
I
didn't
just
ask
told her she was pregnant. I didn't ask her.
Oh, you told her?
I said, girl, you're pregnant. Look how fat you're getting.
Back in the 80s, did Janet Jackson and James DeBarge quietly welcome a child the world never met? And if so, who or what forced that secret into the shadows? As new clues emerge, are we finally about to learn the truth behind pop music's most whispered rumor?
Janet, where you thought she was pregnant?
Yes. When the marriage was annulled, that Janet was pregnant.
In the glittering world of 1980s pop culture, few rumors have burned as long or as hot as the one about Janet Jackson's secret child. It's a tale that has everything: young love and rebellion, family drama under an iron-fisted patriarch, and whispered conspiracies that refuse to fade. For decades, fans and tabloids alike have asked the same haunting question: did Janet Jackson have a baby in the mid-1980s that was hidden from the world? Janet's story takes a dramatic turn in 1984. At just 18 years old, the youngest member of the Jackson dynasty eloped with James DeBarge, the handsome frontman of the R&B group DeBarge. The Las Vegas marriage stunned her family and fans. Marrying James was an act of defiance, a desperate bid to escape the iron grip of her father, Joe Jackson. Joe was notorious for controlling his children's lives and careers. Janet later admitted that the marriage was impulsive and born out of rebellion, but her fairy tale escape quickly lost its shine. James's drug habit spiraled out of control, and Janet found herself more caregiver than wife, even wresting pills out of his hands on more than one occasion. The relationship unraveled almost as quickly as it began, and within a year, it was on the brink of collapse. Amid this chaos, an even more shocking rumor ignited: whispers that Janet was pregnant. She had been appearing in public looking a bit heavier, and people started to talk. Even one of Janet's own aunts insisted she saw a baby bump. The speculation reached a fever pitch at the January 1984 American Music Awards. Janet appeared on stage with her famous brothers, smiling and performing as always, until some eagle-eyed viewers noticed something odd. At one point, her brother Tito Jackson draped his jacket in front of Janet's midsection, almost as if to shield her stomach from the cameras. For a brief moment, lights caught what looked like a slight bulge beneath Janet's dress. It was enough to set off a media frenzy. Was this proof that Janet, at 18, was expecting a child with James DeBarge? The gossip went into overdrive. If true, it would be a massive scandal for the carefully managed Jackson family image. How would Joe Jackson react to his teenage daughter becoming a mother in the middle of a shaky secret marriage? Then, just as suddenly, the story seemed to stop in its tracks. In 1985, less than a year after it began, Janet's marriage to James DeBarge was annulled. The young couple went their separate ways. No baby was ever publicly seen. Janet pressed forward with her career, and by 1986, she was back in the spotlight, stronger than ever, dropping her breakout album Control and reinventing herself as a superstar in her own right. Even as she topped the charts, the question lingered in the shadows. What happened during those missing months in 1984? Had there been a child who simply vanished from the public eye? The absence of any clear answers only made the whispers grow louder over time. Years later, Janet would explain that around that time she had started taking birth control pills, which caused her to gain some weight, a normal side effect, but one that people misinterpreted. "A lot of the kids thought I was pregnant because I had gained weight," Janet said, describing how the whispers even spread among those on the Fame set. In reality, there was no baby, just a bit of weight gain. Yet, not everyone was convinced, especially not the DeBarge family. From their side, they believed an entirely different narrative: that Janet had indeed been pregnant, and that a baby was born in secret. James DeBarge and his relatives never let the rumor die. James's sister, Bunny DeBarge, later claimed that during the time Janet would have been expecting, Janet disappeared from the public eye and then re-emerged suddenly with no bump and no baby. No one pushed this idea more passionately than James DeBarge himself. Despite his struggles in the years after the annulment, he insisted that he and Janet had a daughter. In 2012, while serving time in prison, James made headlines by writing a letter that hinted at the secret child. In an unusual move, he addressed addressed it to Dr. Conrad Murray, the doctor famous for his connection to Michael Jackson's death, seemingly hoping to get a message out to the Jackson family. In the letter, James spoke about a hidden daughter he believed was out there. James passed that certainty on to his other children as well. Christina DeBarge, James's daughter from a later relationship, has spoken openly about this family mystery. She said she truly believes she has a secret half-sister somewhere. According to Christina, her father talked about this alleged baby often and was deeply hurt by the idea that he never got to know his child. He feels robbed. On Janet's side, the silence finally broke in a big way after nearly 3 decades. In January 2022, Janet Jackson decided to address the rumor directly in a documentary about her life. By this point, she was in her 50s and a mother of a young son. Perhaps she felt ready to put the whispers to bed once and for all. In the documentary, cameras captured a very vulnerable Janet speaking about the alleged, "Back in the day, they were saying that I had a child and I kept it secret," clearly pained by the memory. After holding it in for so long, Janet didn't mince words. She firmly denied ever hiding a child. But the members of the DeBarge family have voiced suspicions. Christina DeBarge speculated that Janet's family had a huge influence on her decisions during that time and implied that the Jacksons could easily have closed ranks to hide a pregnancy. And indeed, Janet's swift return to stardom, emerging in 1986 as a confident, independent artist with the apt album title, could be seen as the result of Joe Jackson swiftly handling any problems, like an unplanned baby, to ensure his daughter's career stayed on track. Now, more than 35 years later, this rumored secret child of Janet Jackson and James DeBarge remains one of pop culture's most enduring mysteries. No definitive proof has ever surfaced to confirm it. But for Janet Jackson, the rumor has been a painful thorn in her side, an urban legend she couldn't fully escape no matter how many hit records she had or how many times she insisted it wasn't true. In that context, the secret baby rumor is another challenge she's faced. The challenge of being a woman in the public eye, where even natural weight gain or a private marriage can explode into a scandal that lasts a lifetime. For James DeBarge and his family, the quest to find this supposed child became a deeply personal saga. It perhaps offered James a sense of purpose or hope, the idea that a part of him and Janet lived on. It's tragic in a way that James spent his life haunted by what-ifs and regrets, and he never got the answer he wanted. The DeBarge family, who had their own struggles with fame and misfortune, saw the alleged Jackson baby as a missing piece to their puzzle, something that could tie them forever to the most famous family in music. One can understand why they wouldn't let it go easily. Unless someone with first-hand knowledge comes forward with undeniable proof, a birth certificate, a DNA match, or Janet herself acknowledging something, the story will remain a story. What a story it is. It speaks to our fascination with the private lives of the famous, and how even the most outlandish idea can take hold if it feels truthy enough. Real or imagined, the legend of Janet Jackson's secret child has become a part of pop culture lore. It's a testament to the power of celebrity mystique and the public's insatiable appetite for a good mystery. Janet Jackson and James DeBarge's brief young love produced plenty of drama on its own, but it's the possibility of what might have happened behind closed doors that continues to intrigue us today. Did Janet Jackson really have a secret daughter all those years ago? Most likely not. But as long as people remember this story and swap theories back and forth, the question will never fully go away. It will linger in the background of Janet's incredible career, an unsolved riddle from a tumultuous time in her life. And perhaps that's fitting. The 1980s were a time of big hair, big dreams, and big secrets. This particular secret, true or not, will remain a fascinating what-if, a ghost story in the Jackson family saga for years to come. Let us know in the comments.